So Karen, what are you doing right now?
Cleaning tomatoes to make sauce. And I'm funny because I have to take out, like this one's a little green. So I'm going to put all this green in there.
So you took these out of your garden.
Yeah, what's left.
And you've already made tomato sauce, salsa, tomato juice,
Chili sauce. Squash and tomato stew or whatever that is. Whatever Mom used to make.
So now you're finishing up with some tomato sauce.
Well, one more pot of sauce for the end of the year. That's it.
Okay. And how many jars have you canned so far?
You can go look. Over 100.
Over 100 jars of sauce.
Yeah.
And those are what? Cherry tomatoes?
We decided it was cherry tomatoes.
Okay, so we're going to be right back after Karen finishes washing, and we're going to start grinding these babies up. Okay, so now we're back into the kitchen, and Karen is making her tomatoes into sauce.
I do have a motor for this, so it will automatically do it for me, and all I have to do is push these through.
Yeah.
But this makes me think of our mothers.
So, because you're thinking of Mom,
Yep.
you're working extra hard.
Well, if I had a lot more tomatoes, I would definitely use the motor. But I only had a couple of packs, so. And this is what my mother used to do. I used to have hard ends. She'd have the easy end. She'd put the tomatoes in, and I'd have to twirl it.
You would do all the hard work, and Mom would be putting the tomatoes in. So you're putting the tomatoes in here,
Yeah.
whole tomatoes, squishing them,
And the sauce comes out here,
the sauce comes out,
and all the garbage goes out the front.
and the garbage goes out the front. Here we go.
But we don't throw the garbage out. We put it through 2 or 3 times to make sure we got all that goody stuff.
So you really squeeze them good.
Yeah. And then if you see there's a lot of sauce in there,
There is a lot of sauce in there.
pretty soon it'll, see all that? That's how you make, that would be a good tomato juice right there, but I already made tomato juice.
No more tomato juice.
No.
So there's our tomatoes. Washed and ready to be squished.
I get to this point and I say, I should have put the motor on it.
That's right. Okay, so while Karen continues to do this, we'll figure out what the next step's going to be.
Okay.
So now we're outside and Karen is getting her basil. And she's picking her basil because this basil's going in her spaghetti sauce that she just is making this morning.
Well, I gotta, it's that time of year where I gotta, what I don't put in the sauce, I'm gonna freeze. Either freeze or make a pesto, because it's gonna frost here in the next day or 2, they say. So, smells good, doesn't it? Woo!
Smells wonderful. Okay, so now Karen has all her basil in the house. And what are you doing, Karen?
Now I gotta take them off the stem, like this. And then I wash them. I do use these little tips here,
Yeah?
but some people don't. I put it through the grinder and that when I make pesto.
Okay.
So
But you're not making pesto
No.
now.
So they're garbage. And then what I do is I wash these up real, and then once I'm done with it, I already started washing before you started taping me.
Yep.
So I just did one just to show you what I did. Then I take a paper towel,
Mm-hmm.
and then I dump them on a paper towel.
Okay.
See? Dump them all on a paper towel, kind of like dry them off before I put. Because what I do is I put them in a food blender,
Okay.
processor, whatever you want to call it.
Okay, so we've gone out to the garden area. You've picked them. You've taken them off the stem. You've washed them. Now you're drying them.
Kind of pat drying them.
Yeah.
And then I get some olive oil. And I have this little binky food processor. This thing here. And what I do is I put my garlic in there.
Okay. And the garlic has already been cleaned.
Yeah, it's cut and clean.
Cut and cleaned.
And then I just put little pieces in so it doesn't work so hard. This is just a little guy. See?
Okay.
And then I put a bunch of this in. I don't measure.
Okay, so it's like a
It's
couple handfuls.
whatever you think.
Okay.
Okay. I put some olive oil. Like I said, I don't measure. Maybe a couple tablespoons. This is what I do.
Okay.
Put them on here.
Okay, so she's got everything in her little baby blender.
Yeah, the onions in that. I put onion in there, but I put the onion through the food mill when I did the tomatoes.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, now I have a little more oil.
A little more oil.
Yeah, because I kind of wanted it pasty, like when I put it in the sauce, so it kind of all spreads out.
Okay. So while she's doing that, she also has the pot on the stove, and
It's not doing anything yet.
it's just kind of warming through.
What I do is I don't put much in my sauce, as you know.
So what are you putting in right now?
Got to put some bay leaves in. I have pretty big pot, so I always have to. You got to count these things because you got to get them out once you're done.
Okay.
So there's 2, 3, 4. These are little ones. Here's a big one. There's 5. We'll do 5.
So when the sauce is done, you count 5.
I
There
think-
should be 5 bay leaves that come out.
Right. Because nobody wants to eat bay leaves. Some chunks in there.
Okay,
But
so
that's
let's take a look
okay.
at it.
That's still okay.
Oh yeah, okay. Looks good. Smells wonderful.
Yeah. Then, it's not going to be perfect, but tastes good.
That's right.
And a lot of people start the olive oil and then they brown the garlic. You can do all that too. But this is just a kind of like a quick sauce.
Okay.
Then you just kind of got to do a taste test once it starts cooking. Like right now, let that come to a boil and it's got to boil down.
Okay.
You got to have some pepper,
Okay. And she grinds her pepper in.
some salt,
She's grinding the salt in.
whatever you got. Just have to like I said, this is how you start it. You have to do a taste test. Then I take a little sugar.
That's the part I like.
I know. We got to ruin it with sugar because my sister likes sugar. But I only put maybe, for all those tomatoes, a quarter of a cup. And that's probably not even, that just will take the sweetness or the tartness out of the tomato. So that's it. That's about it. Now all we do is sit and wait.
Okay. We'll be back and see what else she's gonna do to it, and maybe she'll make some meatballs. Who knows? Okay.
Okay, we're gonna do some meatballs. Okay, so look it. You need breadcrumb. I put mint in mine, parsley, grated cheese, eggs, salt and pepper, onions, a little milk, and that's it. So what you do is you throw your meat in. I like using the 80-20, and I like to separate it a little bit. Okay, make sure your hands are clean. Make sure you wash your hands. Okay, and then I don't measure, but that's 2 pounds of hamburger. So I usually put like maybe a cup and a half of breadcrumb in. You know how to make meatballs. I throw my onion. I cut half of it up. Just wanted to show it was an onion. I put that in. This might be a little too much. Not for us. Put your onion in. I put about maybe a tablespoon of mint. This mint I got out of my herb garden, and I dried it up, and I put about a tablespoon in. My grandmother used to always put mint in her meatballs. Next is parsley. This was my mother's favorite. My mother loved parsley, and we always say that's what made the meatball. I usually put a couple tablespoons in because that's what my mother used to do. So put that in, and then salt and pepper. You gotta do whatever your family likes. And this seasons the sauce more too. I don't put a lot of salt in my sauce because I have pork going in and I have meatballs. And I usually have a piece of pork, like fatty pork, and put in there, but I don't have that. So here's the cheese. You can use any kind of cheese: Romano, Asiago, Parmesan. This happens to be Asiago, and it gives the meatballs a nice flavor. But anyways, I grate that in there like this, as much as you want. Okay, and then what I normally do is, now I just kind of mix it together real quick, just to mix it, and then I will add the egg. I don't have a thing for that. Okay, so I got it kind of together. Okay, so now I put a couple eggs in. What I do is this is the egg bowl I had the onion in. So I'm gonna put the egg in. Nothing worse than opening an egg and having it be bad. So I always put them in a bowl first. Then I'll throw them in. Okay, put a little milk, just a little, depending on what we're doing. And the whole thing is you don't really want to mix it real long time because it toughens your meatball. At least that's what my mother used to tell me. So just mix this up, and once it's all mixed, we'll make meatballs. A little more milk. You always want to make sure you get the breadcrumb off the bottom. When my sister does this, she doesn't get the meatball or the breadcrumbs off the bottom of the bowl. But okay. I say not to mix it enough, but my sister's waving to me saying, "Come on, let's move it." You can't rush perfection. Just remember, when you're cooking, you cook with TLC. That's what I tell everybody. No guarantees on how it tastes, but you put the love into it. All right, that's good. Okay, so now we gotta wash your hands real quick. Okay, so I'm gonna make a couple meatballs, show you how I do it, and then we'll stop from there. First, I'm gonna throw my sausage in the sauce. Now, if you watch the video with the sauce, this is the sauce from the tomatoes. The fresh tomatoes. If you notice how much it's gone down, the water from the tomato. So now it's getting thicker, but now we'll start adding the meat so it can cook in, flavor your sauce. And you put what you want. Like I said, I usually put sausage, I usually put pork, and hard-boiled eggs. It's what I normally do for the family. And of course the meatballs. So by the time I'm done, I'm going to have a full pot of sauce. Full of meat. Okay. Now with the meatballs, all I do is I scoop them with this little handy-dandy scooper. And I lay them out like this. Okay, once I'm done with this, it gives it kind of like the same size. My sister doesn't like eating real big meatballs, so I have to make them a certain size so she eats it. I blame it all on her. But anyways, you do this, just like that, and I go and I make all the meatballs. Once I'm done, I roll them, not too much. You just want to kind of roll it together, a couple turns around, like that. A lot of people fry this stuff. I don't. I take my meatballs and I throw them right in the sauce. Just like this. That's it. Now I'm going to go finish my meatballs. You go try it.